Welcome back to Hungry Unplanned, where we are still brewing up a storm here, this time with our final spoiled legend from Bloomburrow. Before we get into it, let's quickly go over the rules of this brew series again. Number 1, no EDA trek. That's right, it's a wonderful site, but I've decided to put a restriction on myself. I am not allowed to use it for this challenge. Number 2, every build will have a timer on screen ticking in real time as I build, so I am up against the clock trying to constantly beat my times and brew faster and faster. And 3, I'm looking to showcase as much of the format as possible, so I'm going to push myself to really find those niche, diverse, interesting cards that I haven't seen before and put them in these decks. Now this build is sure to get spicy because we are in the Boros colors for the first time ever in the series. It is time for the mightiest mouse to take to the stage. Let's get brewing with Mabel, Heir to Cragflame. Okay, we're here with Mabel, Heir to Cragflame. Kind of a big day for this series. This is the last spoiled Bloomburrow legend. After this, until more spoilers come or the set comes out, we're not going to have any more legends to brew with, which is really sad. I think in some ways we saved one of the sweetest for last. I will say, I do think that Mabel likely benefits the most from the set actually coming out, but we'll see what we can cook up today. There's definitely things we can do with Mabel in her current form, and I do think there might be things we can do later. For me, this is probably the deck that's most likely due for an update when the full set actually gets spoiled or as more cards get released. But for now, all we have literally spoiled from this set are 4 legends, and I have brewed decks with 3 of them. So we'll see how Mabel goes today. I'll read Mabel real quick. Other mice you control get +1/+1. Don't have that many mice in the game, I don't think, but we'll find out. And then when Mabel, Heir to Cragflame enters, create Cragflame. The way I think about Mabel is that Cragflame is basically kicker for Mabel. You can play her on 3 as a 3/3, or if you play her with 5 mana available, you can pay 3 and then pay 2 to equip it, and she's a 4/4 with Vigilance, Trample, and Haste, which is pretty sweet. Obviously, you can also do this over 2 turns, so if you deploy Mabel on turn 2 or 3 and then equip her on turn 4, she won't benefit from the haste, but you can get some stuff done there. You can obviously also maybe cheat the equip cost and make it easier to play her. We'll definitely look at ways to do that in this deck, and yeah, just overall, this seems like a really sweet commander. So this should be a fairly straightforward Boros Soldiers deck. I've never brewed a Boros Soldiers deck before. Obviously, there are lots of good Boros Soldiers out there for you to choose from. Soldiers is one of the best supported types in all of Magic. It's not quite elves, not quite goblins, but there are a lot of good soldier support cards, and I've never really dove into them. Before we get started, the only other goal for today is I'm trying to increase my brew speed. Last video with Lumra, I really tried, and I couldn't get there. So today, I'm setting myself a goal of an hour and a half. If I can finish this build in under an hour and a half, I'll feel like we're getting somewhere. With that, we are going to get things going in 3, 2, 1, brew. Alrighty, so we'll start with Sol Ring, and then we'll chuck some lands in. We're going to need a plains, going to need a mountain, at least one of each. I have it on good authority. I'd command tower, because you always want command tower. I'd exotic orchard as well. I think this is a decent little bit of mana to start. Probably a 37 lander if I had to guess. Let's just add 31 lands. Is that how math works? Nope, it is not. We'll add a plains. All right, so 37 lands. We'll start there. We're gonna want Sword Sepulchres. This one is not a secret. This is probably the best removal spell in the format. It's just very, very good. And then draw. Oh, draw is interesting. Does Dawn of Hope make soldiers? I think it does. Yeah, this does make soldiers. Oh, it makes soldiers with lifelink too. I'm gonna find all the soldiers first. Actually, no, I'm not. Let us see if there are any other mouses. Oh, there are mice. Let's go. Like I said, I think this deck will be a lot better when the set's actually out. But I think while we're here, we do have to play as many mice as we can. All right, we got to stay focused though. We'll look at the changelings, I guess. What legal changelings do we have in these colors? There's only 18, and some of them aren't creatures. Bloodline Pretender. This gets bigger when you play mice. You could also pick Soldier for this as well. I think, unfortunately, we'd probably end up picking Soldier more often than not with Bloodline Pretender, which is kind of sad. Yeah, this is a mouse, but it's only going to get bigger if you play cards that share the type, and we're just not going to have that many mice. Taurian Maul is decent. It's kind of like Mana Gorge or Hydra. This costs 1 less for each creature type among creatures you control. Oh, that cares about different creature types. So if we have other changelings, this is easily 2 mana. Otherwise, it might be kind of tricky to make this cheap. It does have double strike though. Trying to think how much I want this card. I don't think we want too many changelings, but I think Valiant Changeling has the stats we're looking for. So with that, we are going to look for soldiers and then see what soldiers might fit into the ramp removal and draw category. I could actually look for them individually like that. There is 650 soldiers or so to look through. The other thing is that a lot of soldier cards do make tokens, so I have a feeling we're going to probably be somewhat of a tokens deck. Gonna narrow the search down slightly. Let's start with draw. What soldiers say draw on them? Aradesh the Founder. What? I think I thought this was Mentor, but this is not Mentor. So let me read this again. This mechanic seems kind of bad. I think, hang on, are there roll links? Okay, here we go. I really don't understand how this works. Oh, okay. So this would want us to play more enlist cards. I'll see how good the other enlist cards are, I guess, but I could see this being good. It seems fun, at least. I'm always down for fun. There is Esper Sentinel. This is a banger. Kind of sits in the, like, obviously good cards category. You can play this card. It's good. Not going to fault you, but I'm trying to showcase more of the game if I can. Fireman Commando, also a soldier. Don't know if we want this. We did also put it in a deck already. I'll leave Fireman Commando on the bench for now. I think Mentor of the Meek is good enough. I guess I should look at the other enlist cards real quick. We do want a couple extra enlist cards for Aradesh because this wants you to have as many as possible, basically. This one seems fine. It's a knight, but it makes a soldier. This is 2 mana, but it's not a soldier. This is 2 mana and a soldier. This is a 2 mana 2/2 soldier with enlist. This is probably the best enlist card we're going to have in the deck. Oh, I like this actually. Yavimaya Steel Crusher. I'm not going overboard into enlist. In fact, I can't. There's only 10 enlist cards that are even legal in my colors, but I think there's enough overlap with these cards that this makes sense. It does add a removal spell to our list, which is nice. Little Yavimaya Steel Crusher. I am already thinking we probably want to play Liquid Metal Talk. We'll just sneak that in right there. No one has to know. Artifact mana is probably going to be our primary source of ramp for what it's worth. The artifact mana sometimes makes colorless mana, but it makes more than one. Soul Ring being kind of the obvious example. And if we are going to have equipment, that actually does kind of line up. How many equipments say draw a card on it, I guess? Oh, this card's really sweet. We should not have any trouble triggering this. I'm also trying to think if we're going to play enough equipment to justify like SRAM or what's the other one? SRAM and Pure Steel Paladin. We might just want Pure Steel Paladin. Pure Steel Paladin is soldier. I think it's a knight. Whenever equipment. Oh, okay. Never mind. That's really sweet. Is a knight. It's not a soldier, but that's okay. So the cool thing about Pure Steel Paladin actually is that we might not have that many equipment, but Mabel is going to always give us access to a piece of equipment. And I think we're going to have a decent amount of equipment to pick from generally. This actually curves really nicely into Mabel. You play Pure Steel Paladin, then play Mabel the turn after, and you get to draw a card off of Pure Steel Paladin. Pure Steel Paladin's worded as a enters trigger, not as a when you cast trigger. This is actually a nice bit of synergy that I didn't think of. And in fact, the dream is that we have other artifacts lying around on our turn 3 after we played Paladin, and then we can equip Cragflame for free to Mabel. I think having the ability to equip for free is going to be good, and Pure Steel Paladin's going to draw us a handful of cards over the course of a game. It might not be as big of an engine as it would be in a more equipment focused deck, but I think it will be more than good enough to justify. And I do like the little cantrip synergy between these two cards. This just curves out so nicely. Oh, what? This is cool. Platoon Dispenser. Did I play Dawn of a New Age already? I don't know if I played Dawn of a New Age in Burke. I don't think I did. And I think we're going to have a lot of creatures. This is basically better Investigator's Journal in white. All right, I'm going to look for some ramp now. Claim Jumper. I forgot about this card. This is a sweet new rabbit from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Keeper of the Accord. Oh, yeah, this card's great. Looks like we're probably just going to be mostly having artifacts. Could have Blade of the Animist, I suppose. I am really trying to think of ways to play Mabel on turn 2. It's pretty hard without playing some very broken mana artifacts. Yeah, the other thing is that Mabel being so cheap kind of makes me feel like I don't really care that much about ramp. Like, I do want some, obviously, but I just don't feel like I need to invest that much time and energy into ramping into Mabel. I think we are just going to lean into artifacts. We do care a little bit about Metalcraft. Look at all the Metalcraft cards. Dispatch. Not a bad little card. Wonder if we'll have enough Metalcraft to justify Dispatch. Maybe. Galvanic Blast, also kind of the same thought. I think I'm happy with those two little removal spells. I also think that we should be playing the bridge. Let me see the soldiers that say the word target on them. Only 186 of these. This is mostly me looking for removal. Bounty Agent? Destroy target legendary permanent that's an artifact, creature, or enchantment. I feel like this card doesn't get enough love. It's a little narrow, but at minimum, it's gonna shoot someone's commander. Brotherhood Outcast. Puts a shield counter on stuff or brings my auras and equipment back. There's a lot of aura and equipment support in Boros. I wonder if that means I want some of the aura spells. It might mean yes, actually. So I'm gonna add this. I don't think we're gonna add so many that will add SRAM, but I think this with something like Chain to the Rocks, for example, would actually be a really fun little interaction for this deck to have. We could also play on Thin Ice too, because we're playing Snowlands. Cathar Commando, one of the better disenchants available. And then Catapult Master. It's kind of the classic Legion's creature type matters stuff. Tap 5 untapped soldiers you control. Remove target creature from the game. I mean, I feel like if we're not trying to activate this, we're not living our best life in this deck, you know? We do need kind of like a generic instant, like Stroke of Midnight or Generous Gift. I think Stroke is the better of these effects, like generally, but I like Generous Gift. We'll play Generous Gift. Maybe 10 removal is enough, actually. So I'm actually going to leave this here for now. If we find other stuff, we can add more, but I don't want to overdo it on removal. I guess there are some red draw spells. I'm also trying to fill out the ramp. Let me finish some of these categories real quick. I think we're pretty committed at this point to just playing artifacts, so let's play all the obviously good ones. We'll play Talisman, play Signet, play the other Signet, and I think we'll play Wayfarer's Bauble. I think I want Sunforger for what it's worth, but this is not a mana rock. We'll need to make sure we have enough of a toolbox in our instants and sorceries, but I think we'll have most of what we need. This is not the most attractive ramp package I've ever put together, but I think it's fine. I'm not going to lose sleep over it, basically. Do need more draw. How many instants say draw on them? I guess we wanted to say draw 2. None of these are what I was thinking of. How did this not find Thrill of Possibility? Oh, because it's not the number 2, it's the word 2? Wow. I can't believe it's that discreet as a difference, but it is. So now we learned. Demand answers. Oh yeah, this seems great. Thrill of Possibility. I think we're probably playing this. I would like more things that draw when I attack. How did I not see this card? Akiri Fearless Voyager. Whenever you attack a player with one or more equipped creatures, draw a card. And then you can unattach the equipment. If you do, the creature gets tapped and gets indestructible. That seems perfect. Aurelia the Law Above. Whenever a player attacks with 3 or more creatures, oh, I draw the card. So it's not like Fireman Commando, which is a mana cheaper but works for every player. This only works for me. So if there are other people going wide, even if they don't attack me, I'll draw a card. And whenever a player attacks with 5, each opponent takes 3 and I gain 3. Aurelia seems kind of cool. A little top-endy, but might be worthwhile. Also just a good attacker. Flying Vigilance Haste, 5 mana 4/4 Angel. Like, we do need beaters. This picking up a piece of equipment would be kind of sick. EDE, the Fallout Robot. So this is kind of like a clue that you like ramp up and then can crack for big value. I kind of like it. Yeah, I kind of like it, actually. It seems silly, but I like it. What other removal spell would I play? Oh, I remember what I was going to do. Okay, so I'm thinking a little bit about removal. We kind of have the framework for the deck all set, but I do want to check that we have enough stuff for Sunforger, and most of the Sunforger stuff is removal in your toolbox. So we can draw cards. We have removal, obviously. We don't have a disenchant. We can get Generous Gift, but I think Rebel Salvo is going to be good. This can got West Sunforger because it costs 3, but if you have 2 equipment in play, which with our commander is always going to be 1, so we just need 1 other equipment. This costs 1 mana, deals 5 damage to a creature or planeswalker, then that permanent loses indestructible until end of turn. And then the thing I was thinking is like, I think I need a disenchant effect because I want to be able to find it with Sunforger, and I just remembered the perfect card. It's time for Wear Tear, baby. I'm pretty sure you can find this with Sunforger, but I think you can only cast either half. But Sunforging for a disenchant is basically this, and then if you draw it, you can fuse it and get both. I'm pretty confident that's how that works. I will look it up and check and put some text on screen if I'm right or wrong, but I think rounding out this deck with a Wear Tear is nice. So only 17 cards left to add, and then the lands. Looking for an hour and a half or less. I feel like we're on pace. So the framework is done. What do we have? We have a bunch of enlist cards. We have some equipment matters cards. I think we need to make more soldiers. How many soldiers do we actually have? Including Mabel, we only have 10. That is not enough soldiers. And we are definitely going to add soldiers that make tokens because we do want to go kind of wide. Baird Argivian Recruiter. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power greater than its base power, make a soldier. 2/2 for a soldier. I think this is great. Any creature equipped with Cragflame is going to fulfill this. So I think that's going to trigger very often. Brimaz? Brimaz is kind of nice. I think Captain of the Watch I am here for. I guess I should have this search also say soldier token, actually. It just says token, so I'm getting some non-soldier tokens, and I very clearly only want soldier tokens. This is kind of fun, but I don't think we want this card. Actually, yeah, I kind of want Vanillage Commander. This card seems sweet. I love a good suspend card. I like Precinct Captain. Oh, buddy. This is like the soldier card of all soldier cards. I think Myrel is like really good. Okay, I think it's too good not to play, actually. This is a huge splashy soldier effect they added in the Brothers War. And yeah, this card absolutely houses people. You can play this card just for the top line of text, but we're obviously going to have a lot of soldiers. So I think this is the kind of card that will win us the game if left unchecked. A bit pricey, but very worth it for how splashy the card is. Oh, I love Resolute Reinforcement. This is one of my favorite little cards. It's just such a neat little value card. Let's highlight soldiers. 17. Still not quite enough. Oh, Assemble the Legion. Oh, this is kind of cool. It's a cheap piece of equipment that makes a soldier and attaches it to it. I think that's good. Kithkin and soldier spells cost 1 less to play. That makes Mabel cheaper. That's actually a good mana rock. Yeah, I would play this instead of like Fellwar Stone probably. Like this kind of thing. Do we want Commander Mustard. Other soldiers have Vigilance, Trample, Haste. That's okay. It works on Mabel. Till end of turn, soldiers you control gain. Whenever this creature attacks, it deals 1 damage to defending player. Yeah, that seems good. It seems like a really good way to finish games. I think Dara Encampment's good. Making Mabel a bit stronger. I mean, I definitely think there's so many different good soldier cards. We could be here forever. Let me know, by the way, if you play this stuff. This is one of the most supported creature types in Magic. Let me know what I missed, because I'm sure there's a ton of sweet stuff that I'm not going to be able to find under a bit of time pressure. Preeminent Captain. I think we have enough soldier cards to justify this. Doesn't work on Mabel, obviously. Actually, you know what? Let's play it. I think we have enough soldiers. Even putting like Resolute Reinforcements in place seems totally fine. Oh, there's just so many possible cards. Other soldiers get 1/1. Exile it, put a counter. Yeah, that seems fine. I'll take the little anthems. So this is 21 soldiers highlighted, including our commander. I think that's the right amount. I think we're getting close. This is 98 cards. We might actually make it. I like Darrow Encampment. I think that's fun. Oh, we did add a land. I have to cut one. So we're not quite there. This is 95 cards. Okay. So now I think we have enough soldier support. I think we have enough ways to buff our soldiers. We have a couple anthems laid through. Commander Mustard's going to go absolutely hard in the paint. I do want a way to be unblockable. Let me check my equipment, actually. I feel like that's the place where we need to like streamline a bit more. Also, to note, I know we could play Stoneforge Mystic and it would be incredible in this deck. I am actively choosing not to play Stoneforge Mystic, but it would be great if you want to play it. Okay, Blade. Let's just highlight equipment. I'm doing this so slow. I'm panicking. Oh, I'm panicking. I think we need at least 2 more equipment. Does Cragflame give first strike? Cragflame does not give first strike. Okay, so we actually probably want that as well. Must be blocked by Dalek. Not bad. Equip legendary creature for 1 is actually pretty good. Oh, it gives first strike? Never mind. This is sick. It gives first strike for attacking creatures, but that's all we care about. That's really cool, actually. 2-mana equipment that equips for 1 on our commander. That's nice. What else? Ooh, I forgot about this card. Another new one. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage, put a charge counter on Lost Jite. Untap target land. Target creature can't block. Put a +1/+1 counter on equipped creature. I think target creature can't block is a good bit of text. I'm down for this card. It's new. It's kind of why I'm playing it, but I think it kind of slaps. I will look for the equipment tutors, though. We might want one that isn't Stoneforge Mystic. Oh, hell yeah. Look at this thing. This is a fun land. See, we found something else. We didn't need this absolutely incredible card. That's really sweet. Oh, Relic Seeker is a soldier. Okay, I'm down. I need one more card. One more card. Oh, I added a land. I need 2 more cards. Yikes. I guess we'll do the traditional look at NDFCs. I'm going to play Sajiri Shelter. I think we do want some protection. Can build it into our mana base. I think that's the only one, though. Cut another land. Now we have 37. Only 1 protection spell. We could play more protection spells. I think having 1 more is good. Okay. I'm really trying to focus up here. Surge of Salvation. One of my favorite protection spells. This protects your whole board. The second line of text, honestly, is more relevant than not in a lot of cases, but just giving your board hexproof is typically good enough. How many tap lands do we have? I'm trying to juggle so much stuff right now. Probably only want to play like 1 more tap land, and it's going to be the tapped snow land. 1 more card. What card do we want to play? Maybe a non-creature card that says soldier. I'm sure we can find something interesting this way. And then I got to fix the lands. Decree of Justice, probably not. Defiler of Faith, little expensive. Kind of sick though. Enchants Planeswalkers, not interested. Finale of Glory, not interested. Does Martial Coup make soldiers? It does. Okay, we're playing Martial Coup. I'm actually just trying to think, do I want to cut Austere Command now after I found Martial Coup? Martial Coup is actually so much better as a sweeper, I think. Okay, I think I'm partly justifying this because I want to try and finish this deck quickly, but I do think Martial Coup is good, and I think Austere Command is justifiable enough. I think we're good on the main deck. Now I just have to fix the lands. Oh goodness, I'm panicking. Okay, yeah, we just gotta look for lands. Go. What's the colors look like? More white than red, so we definitely want to play more white. Okay. Oh, I'm panicking so much. Colorless lands. 1 colorless land. Okay, we can add a couple. We can probably add up to 4. Find land. I want them to not say tapped on them. Battlefield Forge, yes. Demolition Field. Don't have any colorless lands. Gandros, nice. Oh, actually, Shinka would be good in this deck to give Mabel first strike. Ooh. Yeah, Kadrana first makes soldiers. That's a good one. Rugged Prairie, yeah, this is good. Do we have Graveyard Hate? We don't have Graveyard Hate, right? Oh, do we want to play Pit of Offerings? Spire of Industry, honestly, in this deck, pretty good. Painland. We're going to have a decent amount of artifacts. Again, our commander is one. Oh, Sunscorched Divide, yes. Sunbaked Canyon, yes. Treasure Vault, probably not. Don't think we want really any of this stuff left. Yeah, I think that's all the land. So where are we up to? 37, including MDFC. This is 10 mountains, 10 plains. Yeah, probably not the split we're after, but I mean, we could do this. 12-8. That seems decent. Is this really all the lands we're playing now? I feel like there's other lands to play. Oh, how many solo white or red sources do we have that aren't basics? Outpost and Shinka. That's kind of like one of each. So we have 9 mountains and 13 plains, which is not a very aesthetically pleasing number. So I kind of want to play a couple more duels. I know I kind of said I didn't want to play Shocklands and stuff in this game, but you could obviously play Arid Mesa and Sacred Foundry in this deck and it would be fine. I think we're gonna get there. Guess Arid Mesa, Sacred Foundry. So I looked over everything one more time and I think we're pretty happy. All right, I think for the first time ever, we can say we're good. So I'm gonna say we're done. Well, I finally did it. I finally finished a build in the allotted time. Whew. Definitely got a little close at the end there, even though I think the time limit might have been too generous. I think we are going to be pushing times down as we get better and better at brewing. Mabel seems like an awesome addition to the decks we've brewed so far, and is definitely the one I'm most excited to revisit. As always, I'd love to know what you would do with this deck, what changes you would make, what cards you would add, what choices do you agree with, what choices do you disagree with. Let me know all of that stuff down in the comments below. If you like this video and you want to check out more, you can find all of the videos in this series in a playlist linked in the description, and that's where all the future videos in this series will go as well. And if you want to see the deck lists from all of the series, you can find them in their respective video descriptions, and of course you can find Mabel's deck list in the description of this video too. For now, that wraps up all the Bloomburrow legends that we know about, but don't worry, I'll be keeping a keen eye on spoiler season. As every legend comes out, I'll be making sure to keep on brewing. As always, thanks for stopping by, and may your wildest brews come true. You got this.